Unit 2 Methods in the Study of Political Science Historical, Comparative, Empirical, and Behavioral. The structure includes objectives, introduction, methods in the study of political science, that is, historical method, comparative method, empirical method, behavioral method. Let us sum up keywords, answers to check your progress, reference books. Objectives. After studying this unit, you will be able to understand, analyze the importance of methodology is the study of political science. Explain the utility of historical method in the study of political science. Discuss the comparative method, describe the empirical method, and explain the behavioral method in the study of political science. Introduction. A systematic study of any science, social or natural, requires a clearly formulated method of study. The natural sciences like physics and chemistry have developed from studying the phenomena within their scope. Political science does not possess such instruments for carrying on a systematic study of the goals, installations, and processes of the state. Hence, the conscious adoption of proper methods is of paramount importance in political studies. It has been rightly remarked that what the microscope is to biology or the telescope to astronomy, a scientific method is to social sciences. A method is a way of investigation, of arriving at a particular result. Thus, to build up a scientific political analysis, the importance of methodology can hardly be exaggerated. Methods in the study of political science. The methodology of political science has been considerably enriched by a number of eminent writers like Auguste Comte, John Stuart Mill, Sir George Cornwall Lewis, Alexander Bain, and Lord Bryce. In recent times, controversies over the method of social science has led to a fresh thinking on the methodology of political science. Special contributions have been made to this field by authorities such as May Weber, John Dewey, Felix Kampmann, Leo Strauss, Eric Voigelen, and Karl Popper. Now, let us discuss the various methods employed in the study of political science in the following sections. Historical method. The historical method is of great value in political science. Sir John Seeley and E.R. Fruman are chief advocates of this method. Political science seeks to systematic study of the goals, institutions, and processes of state. Every political institution has a history of its own, and it is observed that institutions are products of history. Hence, without a proper knowledge of the genesis and evolution of the political institutions, there cannot be a comprehensive study of politics. The historical method is as old as Aristotle, who maintained that to understand anything, we must study its beginning and development. The scientific study of political institutions must have historical basis, that political phenomena can be properly understood only through a knowledge of their past. History explains to us the origin, growth, and decay of various institutions, including the state. By studying all these institutions, a student of political science can draw inferences and conclusions which can be useful for guidance at present and in the future. History thus provides a key whereby the mysteries of social and political life can be unveiled. It is from history that we learn of the origin and growth of the state and other political institutions. It is only from the study of history that we know the various forms of state and government and their characteristics and demerits and causes or degeneration. The historical method provides realism in political science. The value of historical method lies in the fact that it enables us to arrive at a certain generalization on the basis of facts collected from history. In spite of the single importance of historical method, its limits have to be recognized. The historical method cannot and does not deal with political values. It cannot and does not determine the ultimate standards of good and bad or of right and wrong in political life. Secondly, every age or generation is confronted with some problems peculiar to it. History, as the record of past events, offers little help in tackling such problem situations. In spite of these limitations, the historical method can be of use to political science if care is taken in the selection and analysis of historical materials. Political science secures the best results from the historical method by avoiding bias and prejudice. The political facts garnishes from history must be accurate. Check your progress 1. Note 1. Use the space given below for your answer. 2. Check your answer with those given at the end of this unit. Question 1. Explain the importance of methodology in the study of political science and discuss the utility of historical method in the political science. Comparative method. This method aims at comparing the social and political institutions existing in the world in a particular age and then arriving at certain generalizations. By a comparative study of different institutions, one can discover the laws underlying them. Aristotle successfully employed this method whole by studying political institutions of his time. He made a comparative study of some 158 constitutions existed in his time. This method was also utilized by political philosophers like Montesquieu, de Tocqueville, and Lord Bryce. Comparative method is of great help in analyzing and understanding political problems. It is highly useful in framing constitutions and establishing political conventions. But comparative method must be handled with great care. Comparison of political institutions without due consideration of differences in social, economic, and integral consideration of countries concerned may lead to wrong conclusions. The comparative approach to political study must take care to avoid superficial resemblance. It must not lead to hasty conclusions and generalizations of vague character. Not two political events or institutions can be identical. Empirical method. Empiricism is a theory which holds that origin of all knowledge is experience. The term also refers to the method of observation and experiments used in natural science. In philosophy, empiricism is a theory of knowledge that is practical rather than abstract and asserts that knowledge arises from experience rather than revelation. Empiricism emphasizes that role of experience and evidence is the formation of ideas. In science, empiricism emphasizes those aspects of scientific knowledge that are closely related to evidence, especially as discovered in experiments. The advocates of empiricism are Francis Bacon, John Locke, George Berkeley, and David Hume. They relate all knowledge to be derived from experience through the following ways. 1. Experience, the only basis of knowledge. 2. All hypotheses and theories to be tested by process of observation. 3. Facts to be examined objectively. 4. Scientific and inductive method. The empirical approach suffers from many limitations, such as irrelevance, objectivity not possible, overemphasis, and facts and scientific methodology. Its rejection of values robs it of all basis of evaluation. Check your progress too. Note 1. Use the space given below for your answer. 2. Check your answer with those given at the end of this unit. Question 1. Critically examine the comparative method in the study of political science. Question 2. Discuss the empirical method adopted in the study of political science. Behavioral method. Behavioralism has been rightly described as a protest against traditionalism, historicism, and formalism. It emerged out of institutionalism and formalism. It emerged out of old institutionalism, which was preoccupied with formal structures of government. It was a movement which took into account the findings as developed in social sciences, a movement which provided for scientific methodology, and a movement that created an empirical political science. Behavioralism gave to political science a new focus, individual and group, a new emphasis, behavior, and a new methodology, scientific and empirical. Behavioralism is essentially and primarily a methodological approach to knowledge that studies what empirically happens in the course of human behavior. Its gate contains 1. Political science can ultimately become a science capable of prediction and explanation. 2. It should concern itself primarily with phenomena which can be actually observed. 3. Data should be quantified and findings be based on quantifiable data. 4. Research should be theory oriented and theory directed, evolved through the development of hypotheses. 5. Political science should be more interdisciplinary. And 6. It should become more self conscious about its methodology. The behavioral revolution in political science has had its contribution by making the discipline of political science rather scientific, objective, observational, measurable, and value free. Post behavioralism is not a negation of behavioralism, nor its opposite, but is its extension rather its corrective. It begins where behavioralism ends. New behavioralism is the serration of behavioralism as it helps to review the methodology and the content, favoring a revival of interceptive understanding and historical analysis of political theory. With the emergence of new concerns such as feminism, environmentalism, nuclear war, ethnicity, racial identity, and equality, there has been a general loss of central focus regarding the subject matter and consensus about methodologies. David Eston announced the beginning of new behavioralism in 1990s in order to bring about a new unity in the theoretical focus of the discipline. Check your progress 3. Note 1. Use the space given below for your answer. 2. Check your answer with those given at the end of this unit. Question 1. Write note on behavioral method in the study of political science. Let us sum up. A systematic study of political science requires a clearly formulated methods of study. The important methods adopted in the study of political science are historical, comparative, empirical, and behavioral. From the study of history, a student of political science can draw inferences and conclusions which can be useful for guidance in the present and future. History, however, should not be mainly dependent because it seldom repeats itself. After the comparative study of different human institutions, we arrive at generalizations. Empirical and behavioral approaches are modern approaches in the study of political science. Empirical approach is associated with pragmatism. Facts to be verified by experience, observation, and experience of political events. The behavioral approach to political science is one which explanations are based on people's observation and expressed behavior, facts and data that can be scientifically and empirically tested. Keywords: behaviorism, theory that all human behavior is learned by adopting to outside conditions and thoughts and feelings have nothing to do with learning. Empiricism, doctrine that experiments and experience is the basis of knowledge. Observable, capable of being seen or noticed. Historicism, theory of history or historical doctrine. Pragmatism, concern with practicability. Data, facts or things certainly known.